Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. I appreciate everybody taking the time to join us this week. We're going to kick it off and get right into it. We got a big lineup today. So first, I want to talk about mindset and get everybody to a great place on this. Having conversations with loan officers that are interested in coming to UMortgage over the last couple of weeks. Talked to a guy who did $300 million last year in volume, huge year, obviously, great numbers, and heavy purchase. And one of the things that he said to me that stood out to me is like, hey, for 2022, my goal is if I can just do 300 million again, I would be happy. That's my goal. And wrong mindset. Like everybody's sitting here focusing on the market shrinking. There's all the common theme I'm hearing is like rates are going up. The market's shrinking. We just saw, Better and Freedom. Some of these companies are laying off big numbers of people. And that's because their CEOs and their leadership teams have a mindset. And their mindset is they've decided to shrink. They've made the decision, hey, we're going to lay off people. We're going to make these decisions. We're going to shrink. Okay, that's their decision. Our decision is we're going to grow. And understanding that, maybe last year you could talk to 5 realtors a week, and that would get you enough deals to do that 300 million in the case of this person. Now you got to talk to 12 realtors. Now you got to talk to 15 realtors. Maybe getting by on 50 phone calls a day will cut it last year in a better rate environment. Maybe this year you got to make 100. Okay, the mindset is if I want to grow, I have to do more to grow. I'm going to show up every day. So to me, going back to the last week, we did time management training. Why is time management important? Because you only got so many hours in the day, and you only have so many effective hours a day where you got the high energy, your mind's locked in, where you could be at your best. Making sure you're maximizing those hours towards doing the things that help you grow your business is critical. Those aren't going to be the hours that you're sitting there, organizing, files or getting applications in. Like anybody can do that. Like anybody can put an application. There's loan officers are, all over the country that, they could put documentation together and put an application together. Selling, developing relationships, building your business. Not everybody can do that. That's why there's people that knock it out of the park and a whole lot of people that don't. So making sure you're using your best hours towards growing your business, being in front of a realtor, talking to your customers, making those your power hours. Hey, from 9 to 12, I'm at my best. That's my power hours. That's where I'm going to get my 100 calls in. That's where I want to be speaking to customers. Dominate by being different is the mindset, okay? We're not going to do it the way everybody else is doing it. We don't give a shit what everybody else is doing. We're focused on growing, okay? We're not laying off anybody. Matter of fact, we're going to hire the most people we've ever hired in this quarter than ever before. And we're going to keep growing because that's the decision. And what comes along with that is understanding that you got to do your part. We're going to talk about our week 2, obviously, of our 12-week year here, and making sure everybody's on pace for the goals. The goals are always going to ramp up. The first week of the year, as we know, it's the slowest week of the year, just from a perspective of getting people across the finish line, getting real estate agents out, making sure people are looking at homes. That's always going to be a slower week when it comes to certain production-related goals. But this is going to ramp up in a big, big way. I sent a message to our branch managers and our leaders to start the week. Told them, hey, listen, guys, last week, we got 5 goals. It's not one goal, the production goal. It's not just the production goal. We got 5 goals as an organization. We're a team, and team is everything. So we got to make sure we're getting our learner hours in. We got to make sure that we're participating and we'll report up. We got to make sure we're doing what we need to do to effectively use Salesforce so that we're tracking our referrals and our lead conversion. So we're improving those areas. And we're going to have Dylan talk in a little bit. He's coming to our organization as a sales development leader, or a sales leader focused on developing our salespeople. So, it's all about getting better, but you got to do your part. So when I look at the reports and I see, hey, this person didn't get their learner hours in, this person didn't make their contributions of putting their referrals in Salesforce, that's a problem. You're holding us back from succeeding. And just like we made a choice to grow together in 2022, just like we said, these are our goals as an organization. We're going to hold everybody accountable to make sure they're doing their part because it's a team first mentality. So one goal that we are knocking it out of the park on that I want to talk about here is our NPS score. So NPS score has moved up based upon our most recent reviews that have come in. We're at a 91 NPS score. So just to give you an idea, from an industry standard, this is our experience is everything goal. From an industry standard, 91 is knocking it out of the park. Okay, that's as good as it gets. You can see here, these are a couple of really, really great lenders and great mortgage companies that crush it in a big, big way, and we're outperforming them. So when it comes to customer experience, when it comes to what our customers are saying about our process and their relationship-focused, personalized experience, They love what we're doing. We got to keep doing that. Like, again, this is all about growing without sacrificing on experience. Experience is everything. Making sure this is a special experience does what? Creates more customers. A customer that creates a new customer is what we define as success. So great customer experience should mean more referrals, should be more customers that are coming your pipeline on a weekly basis. So have you called all of your customers to make sure, hey, I know you gave us, you gave us a great review on our MPS rating. We really appreciate that. It's one of our company goals. It's something that all of our bonuses for the quarter are aligned on. So it means a lot to us. Hey, do you know anybody that might be interested in a refinance? Do you know anybody that's looking for a mortgage? In the future, just so you know, just like Mo said last week, client for life. Make sure your customer knows that they're going to get mailers from different mortgage companies. They're going to have needs in the future. Hey, I want to do a renovation. I want to do this. Like, I'm your finance guy for all things housing related for the rest of your life. So you thought we had a great experience? Well, guess what? That's how I do it every time. Make sure you come back to me. Make sure you consult with me before you take out a line of credit, before you do anything. Make sure you set that expectation, because without setting that expectation, they're never going to know. Next thing I want to talk about here is a big announcement today from UWM, and this is a really, really big one. I want to make sure everybody's focused on it. Jumbo Max came out today from UWM. The pricing is live in all-in, effective this morning. Pricing on Jumbo improved by almost 150 basis points, so that's a quarter to 3/8 in rate. It's a big, big deal. Take advantage of it. Now, just understand, we know how the game goes. Supply and demand's always the thing. So, from a Jumbo perspective, right now is the best the pricing is going to be. Don't float the market. Lock that pricing in, because the Jumbo pricing isn't going to move like the rest of the conventional and FHA and the government pricing. This is pricing where, like, they hit a certain level of volume. If they have mass demand come in, they might have to, move back on pricing. So do yourself a favor. If you get a customer that fits the bucket, sell the rate, sell the price, bring the deal in. And also use this to acquire new customers. Like, think about this from a perspective of real estate agents. Like, Jumbo's not the area that we traditionally dominate. That's not the area that non-bank lenders dominate. It's where banks dominate, right? So, like, use this as a customer acquisition strategy. Like, we don't need to make money on this loan. The company doesn't need to make money on this loan. If you need to do a Jumbo loan to get a purchase deal that puts you in front of a great buyer's agent, a great seller's agent, and gives you a transaction where you can knock it out of the park for the customer's telling the real estate agents how great of a job you did, and you're out servicing each of those agents and asking for the opportunity to do business with them. You get a 30 or 45-day period where you're doing great service, you're doing a great job, you're talking to those realtors, they're taking your calls. Like, that's an opportunity. It's worth it not to make a commission on a deal, to put yourself in a position where you're on stage in front of those two agents for 45 days. So think outside the box. It's all about strategy. It's all about putting yourself in a position where you're creating customers that create new customers. Hey, I'm not making a commission on this one. I got in front of two realtors, knocked out of the park. One of the realtors sent me a deal. That's going to get me another deal. So think about it. I'm going to hand it off here, and I'll be back in a second.
Good afternoon, UMortgage. I'd like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Dylan Mack, and I am the new production team leader working out of UMortgage headquarters. I've been in the industry since January of 2016 and have experience in loan origination, operations, servicing, and most recently as a senior sales development coach. Over the coming months, I will be working to build a best-in-class inside loan originator and inside sales rep team that will support and supplement our branches and outside loan originators. My goal, as the team is built, is to nurture our borrower and realtor relationships to build customers for life and drive lead conversion in support of our goal of a 50% increase in lock volume quarter over quarter. I will also be working closely with the Bally team and Matt the Mortgage Guys team to increase lead conversion and identify best practices that can be shared company-wide and to standardize processes to improve efficiency. As we move into the next slide, I'm going to be pivoting to Salesforce. Throughout the first quarter of 2022, we will be working to achieve 100% Salesforce adoption by loan originators and our support staff. This will allow us to refine our reporting to identify successful dialing practices and high converting lead sources while managing our follow-up cadences for existing prospects and new leads. Using the call logging functionality, loan originators will be able to see previous communications on any given lead. What this means for you is that all internal stakeholders will be on the same page, and it's going to help us provide an industry-leading borrower experience and foster that customer for life. Thanks, and let's have a great 2022.
Hey guys, Matt the Mortgage Guy. Thanks for having me. Pleasure being on here. I just want to talk to you guys about our goal for creating stronger communities. 24 learning hours per quarter per team member. That is the goal, right? And so that means 2 hours per week should be dedicated to you making you better, right? And let's start with some things like the daily, weekly leaderboard, right? Where we're competing, we're getting better. I'm razzing Sarah and TK and Amer about those cute little loan amounts out there in Michigan. But in all seriousness, you know, you get around people that are competing to become the best versions of themselves. I'm razzing people up and we're you know, competing because I want to see everybody win. I want Kyle and Jimmy to win in Utah. I want Karen and her team to win in her market. And I want Amer and all the folks in Michigan to win there, right? So by getting in there and being engaged, you know, and making it a fun competition, we're all pushing each other to higher levels. And I love that stuff. Continue to be in there, continue to push each other, continue to strive for greatness. That's what we're all trying to do. Last week's training, Anthony did time management. There was an ask for referrals training, which is absolute gold. This is the kind of stuff that's going to directly translate to more business. I don't know a loan officer. I don't know a mortgage team that's trying to do less business in 2022. If they're talking about that, they're no longer part of my ecosystem, right? Because I can't have that energy around me. And so you're trying to do more business. There's tools available, right? These learning hours are going to translate to more business. So, you know, the Salesforce training, the all-in training, the peer-to-peer groups, I've talked about that in the past, how David Higgins has put together some really cool peer-to-peer coaching opportunities where I'm going to learn from somebody in another market. They're going to tell me best practices about what's going on there. I'm going to try to help in whatever way I can, some best practices that me and my team are using and how that's turning into business. So get in there, get engaged. This week, we've got one on feedback that Dave Higgins is running, giving and receiving feedback. We've got a VA mortgage training with Jimmy Hobson. That guy's an absolute genius when it comes to VA loans. So look out for that. There's going to be capital markets industry updates. We got a live Q&A on Friday with capital markets. This stuff is all gold and it's all geared to make you better, right? And so last but not least, you got to give to get. You're going to get something out of these trainings by just showing up, right? But that's going to be the baseline. What we're asking for is 2 hours a week of these trainings. And it's an ask so that you can get better, right? But the more you put in, the more you get out. You've heard that saying before. It's absolutely true, and it holds true with this as well. If you show up to a training and you've got it playing in the background while you're fiddling on your phone or you're taking notes or you're doing something else, you're only going to get so much out of that training. If you're engaged, if you're asking questions, if you're adding value yourself to those trainings, you're going to get 5x or 10x out of it, right? Imagine who you could become in 5 years if you got engaged and you actually took serious these 2 hours per week of trainings that are geared to make you better. So get in there, get engaged, get the most out of it. This is the call to action, 2 hours a week. It's not a big ask. If you have issues with time management, go look at the time management presentation that Anthony did, right? I promise you, Anthony is able to carve out hours. I'm able to carve out hours. If it's important to you, if you want to become better, if you're trying to get better every day, carve out the time that it takes to do 2 hours a week of this training. And I promise you, you're going to look up 3 months from now. You're going to look up a year from now. You're going to be a better version of yourself. And we're all going to win together. Thanks, guys.
Hi everyone, Corie Meredith, marketing team leader. So excited to be on today's sales meeting. And today I want to talk about ignoring the noise. For those of you that know me, you know I'm a huge Patriots fan, which means I'm a huge TB12 fan. And I just recently watched Man in the Arena, and it gave me a little bit of inspiration. Ignore the noise. When you're focused on you, on the things that you're doing that drive your impact, whether that be professionally or personally, you can't be blinded by distractions. You have to be focused on the end goal. When you let distractions in, now you're too busy for that. You just can't do it. You have to focus on what's important. You have to put away everything else, and you just have to think linear. When you let distractions in, you're wasting your time. You have to ignore the noise. Winners focus on winners, and losers focus on winners. So determine which one you are and get to work. Next, I want to talk about our Get Better Everyday goal. As a reminder, this is a 50% increase in loans locked quarterly. Now, we're working towards this goal, but we have a long way to go. So first, I want to talk through some social campaigns and CTAs that can help you achieve this goal. For us, we provide the marketing calendar. Shameless plug, but use it. You can drive CTAs to get connected with you by phone, get connected with you by email, or use your digital business card on the UMortgage website. As a reminder, this digital business card has 3 CTAs on there. One is to apply with you so a customer can come directly to that landing page and start their application. The other one is to refer a friend. So send this to your past borrowers or people that you're currently working with and ask them to send you a referral. And the third one is a partnership page. So if there's any real estate agent that you're looking to partner with or any industry professional that you want to create a relationship with, you can utilize that landing page to drive that relationship. Now, if these forms are submitted, they're automatically assigned back to you in Salesforce. So you'll get task notifications to follow up immediately. And that referral will be associated with you in Salesforce so that it can help with us reaching our referral goal as well. Next, I want to talk through some Salesforce and technology initiatives that are happening in 2022. The first is the Salesforce All-In and Lender Portal Sync. Now, this is a big project that IT has been working on, and it's really, really exciting because our data syncs every 20 minutes. This means that we'll have the most up-to-date information on all of our current loans and loans that are converting from application to finished application, and that will be updated automatically in Salesforce. This will give us the benefit of knowing exactly where we are and that we can continue to give the best service possible, knowing the most up-to-date and accurate information in the quickest timeline. V2 of this is going to be a lender sync from the lenders themselves. So we'll have access into their portals so that if things don't necessarily happen in All-In automatically just yet, it will happen in Salesforce, giving us even more speed to contact, even more quick times that we can stay in front of our customers and understanding exactly where they are in the process throughout the entire loan process. There are much more exciting things to come with Salesforce as far as status and task management and how that's going to relate to your contacts and provide you the most insight in understanding their needs and remembering the past conversations that you had with these borrowers. But there's more to come on that, and I don't want to overwhelm everyone, so we'll keep it to a minimum there. But next, I want to talk to you about the things that you can be doing right now. Some of those call to actions that I previously mentioned, but start using Salesforce if you haven't already. User adoption is going to be huge for all of us to reach our goals. We need you to be in Salesforce. We need you to be using your leads and your contacts and using your tasks and really looking at your pipeline all in Salesforce. As a reminder, this is one place that you can manage your leads, your loans, and your tasks, and it can streamline your entire process. You also should be using All-In. It's very, very important because one little data trigger can affect a whole pipeline of data triggers. So please be using All-In to the best of your knowledge. If you need any support with that, please reach out to myself or anyone on the business innovation team, and we can provide you with the necessary training that you need to feel comfortable using these platforms and streamlining your business and providing the best service for your clients. Next, I want to say just be active on social media. Do not undermine or underestimate the power of social media. It is the future. It is the now. It is the everything. Please start utilizing the marketing calendar and personalize it. I really, really encourage you to personalize it, actually. When you find that fine line of sharing personal information along with educational information, that's kind of where the magic happens. Share pictures of past closings. Share pictures of your family, share pictures of your experiences. It makes you more relatable. It makes you more trustworthy. And then people will tune into that message more when you're hitting them with financial education and mortgage material that may seem boring up front, but is actually really, really important in the future. Provide those CTAs, give a clear call to action of how people can get in touch with you. Like I said before, use those referral pages, use those application links, use your phone number, use your email, whatever you find sufficient, but streamline the process. So if you do end up using those referral pages, which I highly recommend, that will automatically put your leads into Salesforce for you, therefore streamlining your process overall. There's much more to come from the marketing team as far as real estate agent drips and nurture campaigns and lead campaigns and educational flows and so many things happening. I will say that our post-close nurture campaign is active. So if you are an LO looking to get into that drip, please let me know and we can set up an automation rule for you, letting all new loans close from now till whenever, they can be active in that drip and they can start receiving those emails and top of mind communication. We also are working on some other integrations with some third parties to help us stay top of mind with borrowers who meet a specific credit score or are selling their house or things of that nature to stay top of mind with those tasks too. So much more to come. Just want to give you guys some updates on that, and let's keep getting better every single day.
What's going on, everybody? It's Amer, Bally. You already know the deal. I love being on these things, man. The weekly sales meeting, it's something that we learn a lot from. So it's a privilege to be on here, and I always want to say I'm grateful for you guys allowing me to be on here. So anyways, I want to just jump right onto it. So first thing we're talking about is we're going to talk about top of mind. So something I talked about with my team today. So today I talked to my team about being top of mind. Now, what does that mean to be top of mind? So if you go on Google right now, and you search up the company called Top of Mind, it's actually a company, like I'm almost like referring them, but it's a company where you pay $100 a year. So you pay $100 a year per client. And what happens is they send that client 5 gifts a year. They send the client a gift when you close. They send the client a gift 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road, and then on the year. They send the client a gift. So 5 times a year, they stay top of mind. So I was talking to my team today. I said, listen, if you don't have the money to be top of mind with a client like that, let's be more relationship. Let's give them a call. So right now, what our biggest and most important call to action is easiest and fastest path to success. Everybody wants success. It's unfortunate that everybody wants it easier and really fast because success it's a lot of work. But how do you find the easiest and fastest path to success through referrals? It's by staying top of mind. So what does that mean? So client closes on a mortgage. Once they close, you call the client, you thank them. Hey, Mr. Client, thank you so much for taking the time, to work with me. It's a privilege. It's an honor. I appreciate it more than you ever know. Also, Mr. Client, if you know anybody that I could potentially help out, it would mean a lot to earn that referral business, right? So boom, that's the first way we're top of mind, right? Second way we're top of mind is now we're talking to that client. We're saying, hey, 3 months down the road, they're getting their first bill. Hey, Mr. Client, it's Amer, Bally again. I just did your mortgage. Hey, Mr. Client, do you have time? I'd love to hop on a Zoom call with you. Set up your auto pay, set up your bill pay, explain to you what the payment systems look like on the website so you know your escrow, you know where to see things. And then, oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Client, do you know anybody else I can help out? Anybody else that maybe that can benefit from a mortgage? That's the second way. Third way, maybe it's a birthday, right? Fourth way, it's a holiday. Fifth way, after them being in the home for a year, you hop on a phone call with them and you say, hey, Mr. Client, closed on your home a year ago. I just want to say thank you so much for everything. Hey, your son Jack, he's in the football team. Did he ever end up winning that championship game? Like talking like that, making the notes in a ride, staying top of mind with these clients is very important. So I'm going to have you guys all think for a second. I want you guys, everybody watching this, I want you to think for 1 second. I want you to think to yourself, the guy or the girl that sold you a car 2 years ago, right? For example, she's a dealer, sold you a car, and they asked you, they said, hey, Corie, how's it going with your marketing at UMortgage, right? And then you told her about the goals, you told her everything. And then what ends up happening is a year later, Corie Meredith turns in her car, and you should buy a new car. She goes to the same dealer, right? And that dealer says to her, hey, Corie, before we do anything, I remember you set these goals for your company that you work at. Whatever happened with those goals? Did you ever hit those goals? Now, mind you, that dealer, she probably never even had, she didn't probably remember, she probably had it written down in your file, right? Or whatever it is, and like your arrive. Now, if anybody is selling me something and they remember what I was doing a year ago, or they had it written down and they bring that back up, I'm sold. I'm sold. You kept me top of mind. I'm keeping you top of mind. So it's like, that's how we stay top of mind with these clients. Now, mind you, the 5 touch point process that we have with these past clients, it is very, very crucial that we ask for a referral every single time. This is the problem. This is the problem with being a loan officer. We bust our butt every single day to get a deal. Every day we work hard. We build those relationships. We meet those realtors. We make those dials every single day. But when the business is easy to get, we don't do it. When the business is right there, it's like the fruit, right? It's from the tree. If the business is right there and we don't get it, that is the problem, right? So it's like all you have to do is ask the client for a referral. You'll get the referral. You ask the client for a referral, you don't get a referral. You don't get a referral, right? It's like, how many shots do you miss if you don't take any? You miss 100% of them. So if you take some shots, you make some, then it's like, maybe you only missed 80% of the shots, which is better than missing 100%. So top of mind with your clients, ask for referrals. It's free money. It's like a given. I'm going to tell you, Jimmy Hobson asked for some referrals. And what is he going to do? He's going to ask for those referrals. And that's why he's one of the highest producing LOs in Utah, because he's asking for that business. He's getting that business. He is top of mind. So that was a lot. So let's move on to the next slide. So the next slide, I'm talking about $25,000. Amer, what does this mean? What does it mean, $25,000? So how much is every single client worth to you? What is the value of a client? To me, each client is worth $25,000, right? So I closed 900 and some odd loans last year, right? So that means I should have made billions, but I didn't. I'm not like Anthony, right? I don't have that much money, but it's like $25,000. So how much money is each client worth to you? And what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? So for example, you have a client, and now that client, you close that deal, you probably make a commission, 2, 3, 4 grand, whatever you're making, right? Then that client refers you their mom. That client refers you their brother. That client refers you their coworker. That client refers you their employee, their cousin, their best friend, right? They send you 5 or 6 referrals. Off of that one client, how much revenue did you make? You generated $25,000 or more in revenue. That is the value of each client. So now imagine loan officers, you loan officers that are listening to this right now. Imagine if I told you, I said, hey, loan officer, I just wanted to let you know that client you're working with, you might not make $25,000 today, but you're going to make $25,000 in the period of the next 18 months. How much harder are you going to work on that client? How much more work are you going to put into that client? If I told you the client you get today, you are going to make 25 grand in 18 months. You're going to call the client every single day, right? You're going to call them 10 times a day. Hell, if you had the choice. So it's like, that's what you're going to do. Are we treating every single client like they're worth $25,000? Because that is how much the value of our clients are worth. Our clients are worth $25,000. And the moment you understand that, and the moment you grasp that, and you say, oh man, this guy's right. That client referred me 3 more people. Boom, I got a deal. I'll give you an example, right? One of my LOs here, his name's Andy Tallow. We were working on a client together, right? He sent me the client. This client was a prick, right? Sorry. He was so rude. He was the rudest client. I did the loan at a loss. I lost it was like $462. That's how much money I lost doing this client's loan, right? He said to me, he said, Amer, if you go really low on my loan, you give me a good rate, low closing costs, I'm going to refer you 5 people. And what did I do? I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to call you on your bluff. I'm going to do this loan for free. I literally made no money. I'm going to do your loan for free. I did this loan for free. We closed. I said, Brian, you told me you were going to, I'll never forget this guy. Yeah, Brian, you told me you were going to refer me some people. What happened? Right? Oh, they're coming. A couple weeks went by. Hey, man, how's everything going? Did you leave me that Google review? Oh, what about those referrals? Oh, they're coming. Okay. About a month. His coworker, his other coworker, his brother, and his dad, they all called me for a mortgage. We closed all 4 of them, right? It's like, just like, literally, like it was in a period of a month. All 4 of them came in. We closed all of them. It was the best. Probably made like 30 grand worth of commissions on that loan. And it's like, because I was top of mind, I called him for those referrals, and I asked him, Brian, if I'm going to do your loan for free, you owe me something in return. I'm investing in you. You owe me something in return. So, guys, I talk a lot. I love you guys. UMortgage is incredible. Thank you for everything you guys do for us. And, thank you for having me here. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Amer. We got 3 minutes here, guys. Hang with me as we wrap up. Number 1, I want to talk about report up. So this is something we've been doing for a very long time here at the organization. We recently did a little bit of a couple changes throughout the structure of it. But here's what it comes down to is we need everybody to participate in this. Loan officers, processors, branches, doesn't matter where you're at. Everybody needs to participate in report up. Now let's explain what this is and why it's important. And it's very important. Our whole entire organization revolves around report up. So what it is it's an assessment at the end of every week, quick questionnaire. It takes literally 5 minutes tops to complete. But, how was your week? How did you do this week? 1 to 5 scale, what was your performance for self-assess? Like, did I have a good week? Did I reach my goal for the week? Did I make my contribution? Do I feel like I got out of this week a 5? Was it a 4? Was it 3? Was it a 1? Like, be honest, but be, on point with it. Make it a data-driven thing. Like, did I get my apps? Did I make my calls? Did I do what I need to do? Did I reach my goals? Then it's a matter of like, hey, as an organization, how are we doing to support you? Like, what could we be doing better? How's my leader doing? 1 to 5 scale. Like, and here's the why. This isn't about a popularity contest. This isn't about making somebody else feel good. This goes back to the crux of get better every day. There's nothing worse than somebody that, doesn't tell you or give you feedback. And then after months of dwelling on it and months of sitting on, not telling anybody, they unload a bomb on you. Like, hey, I've been thinking this for months, but why didn't you tell me months ago? We could address this back then. Weekly report up is all about, getting our team members to share with us, like, how was their week? Is there something their leader could do to support them better? Is there something the organization can do to support them better? Is there training that can help me be better? And this is all about getting better every day. So let us know how we're doing. Be honest. We don't want to hear about the great stuff. To me, I want to know where to get better. If we're great at something, somebody's just sitting there saying, hey, great job, you're amazing. Like, yeah, that's great. We've got the kudos group for that. It gives you a little bit of something. But like at the end of the day, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to make sure that the value add here cannot be found anywhere else. So when I look at our organization as a whole, I'm sitting here saying, listen, we are listening to our team members. Our team members give us this feedback. It's not that we're going to be reactive. It's we're going to listen, understand, and see what we can do to address that. Well, and that might just be having a conversation with a team member. That might be an LO saying, hey, I'm not getting what I need to from the marketing team or from this team. And when we sit there and we talk to them, it turns out they don't need any one of those things. They need more training. They need more coaching. Their leader needs more coaching to help coach up their team member. Again, please make sure this is a required qualifier for our Q1 goals, number one. Number two, this is how we drive our training. So like at the end of every week, we look at, we review the report up feedback and we identify, hey, for next week, this is what our team members are telling us. They need this type of, they need time management training. They need SMART goals training. They need this training. Like we make that decision at the end of every week for the following week, and we kick it into gear from there. So call to action, complete report up, not just 1 week, every single Friday. Next, I want to talk about training we have scheduled for this week, and this is a call to action to follow up in that, giving and receiving feedback. Let me just tell you real quick, salespeople, you suck at giving and receiving feedback, like plain and simple. This is a fact. This is an industry problem. Is like, it's not like, hey, you did 100 million last year, you're amazing. Like that's what our industry is based on, is everybody patting each other on the back. What we need to know is like our weaknesses. Like, hey, listen, I sit there with Mack, Gouge, I sit there with Amer, I sit there with Corie and Jimmy Hobson. Like we have very transparent conversations. There's no ass kissing. There's no pats on the back. They tell me where we suck, and I tell them where they suck. And we say it in a very transparent way, but we do it constructively. And we sit there and say, hey, listen, here's how you can help. You can get better in this area. Here's the action plan for you to address these things. And by the way, as a team, I'm going to get with my leadership team. I'm going to get with our team here. We're going to talk about the areas that we're not supporting you enough, or the areas that we can get better. And like having those conversations are critical. It's not about feelings. It's not about hurting anybody. It's all about, if your goal is this, the commitment to be transparent and communicate about anything getting in the way of your goal is critical to actually achieving the goal. So yeah, I get something from Corie, the marketing team. They do something I don't like. Hey, I'm going to share my feedback. I'm going to give them the why. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to get on the same page, and we're going to mix it up and get it right the next time. L&D, like that's how we do all of our things here, guys. So giving and receiving feedback, it's not just about learning the art of giving feedback, because you always have to, give the feedback, provide some action planning, provide some coaching and accountability, and then from a team member perspective, we got to understand how to receive that feedback. You should never feel attacked when you get feedback. You should be like, all right, like this is all about me getting better. This is all about improvement. I appreciate this feedback. I actually want this feedback, and I want to get it a lot because I want to be great, and I want to make sure that I'm getting better every day. So that training is scheduled for today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Please join it. Other training we got scheduled. Jimmy Hobson is doing a VA training for all team members, LOs, you name it, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Make sure you attend this. Like Jimmy Hobson is one of the best in the country at what he does. He's literally, from a VA perspective, he's the top of the mountain. He knows the program in and out. He's an expert. This is a great opportunity to learn from somebody that is an expert at this financing. Next year, it's not all going to be about conventional A paper loans. Like refinance market, it's all about a conventional A paper, appraisal waivers, all that stuff. The more knowledge you have, the more likely you're going to be able to achieve your goal of growing 50% over quarter over quarter. So VA training from the man, Jimmy Hobson, an hour of his time, a Q&A session. Like this is gold. This is why you came to UMortgage. This is why you're part of the team, and you're getting the best of the best. So last thing here I want to talk about, urgency. Okay. 2 weeks into a 12-week year. Okay. This is one thing that like drives me crazy, is the lack of urgency sometimes people can have. Hey, my New Year's resolution is to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to start on January 15th or March 1st or whatever the heck. Like people, there's no urgency. If you want to achieve something, if you want to achieve big things like we want to achieve here, you got to have urgency. You got to understand you can't take a day for granted. You can't take a minute for granted. You can't take our people for granted. You can't take your realtors for granted. Like you got to understand you have to have an urgency to deliver value. When I wake up every day, I'm sitting there saying, hey, am I doing a good enough job to make sure our company's delivering value to make sure Jimmy Hobson stays here and Amer stays here and Marcus stays here and Corie stays here and Kaylee stays here. Like I got to make sure our organization is exceptional at everything so that our team members stay at UMortgage. So like at the end of the day, it's like, it's an urgency thing. It's in my mind constantly. If we're not getting better, if I'm not in meetings focused on us getting better, then I'm wasting time. I'm going backwards. And eventually I won't be providing enough value to keep our team here and to continue to grow. So urgency is trainings. You got report up, action item. Use Salesforce. Put your referrals in, put your leads in. It's all about tracking. It's all about those nurture campaigns and what the marketing team's putting together to help us stay top of mind, create customers for life, convert more loans, and 2 additional trainings this week. Giving and receiving feedback training today at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, VA training. This counts towards your 2 learner hours per week. Make sure that's one of our goals. You got to do your part. Let's make this the best week yet. Have a great day, guys.